Good morning, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. How's everybody doing? Happy Mother's Day, all. I hope it's a lovely day wherever you are. If you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. And for about the next hour or so, we're going to be talking all things cruising and cruise related. It's so good to see everybody. Good morning, Eric. Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We've still got Rebecca's mom, Lisa. So happy Mother's Day, Lisa. I hope all of you guys are having a lovely day with your mom. Tammy Lamb is here. Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Good to see everybody. If you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. And as always, we have my lovely wife, Rebecca, sitting right off camera. And for about the next hour or so, we're going to talk all things cruising. We book cruises, land tours, luxury, and expeditions. So however we can help you with your future travels, do just reach out. We'd love to help you. Our services are 100% free. We don't charge you a dime. We get taken care of by the travel partners on the back end. So why wouldn't you use us? Take advantage of our 20 years of cruising travel and also our 5,500 other fellow agents that are in our network. That's fabulous. Becky, good morning, San Diego. Unpacking and the laundry continues after a cruise. Yay, the fun part of coming back from a cruise. Hey, Andrew's here. Cindy's here. Good morning, everybody. Larry's here. Rick, good morning, Rick. Hi, Kurt. Hi, John. Good morning. Oh, John is just off the Celebrity Apex and going through withdrawal. I'm telling you, I think anybody who comes off an Edge class ship, you're going to have serious withdrawal. I mean, coming off a cruise ship, you have withdrawal. Boy, coming off the Celebrity Apex, John, I can't wait to hear it. I hope you had an amazing time. That is so awesome. Good morning, Mo. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see everybody on TikTok. Good to see everybody on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, wherever you are in this amazing world. I hope you're having an awesome, awesome day. Good morning, Sue. Hey, interesting news from Carnival Cruise Line this morning. They have apparently sent word to folks who are on the May 19th departure and also, I guess, today's departure that they might operate out of Baltimore next week. I mean, I think that's really aggressively optimistic. Today is the day that they're going to set those charges on the last piece of the dolly. So there's that big, massive piece of the bridge that's still sitting on the dolly, and the only way to safely remove it, they're going to do these little charges on it to break it up and just let it fall into the water. And Carnival is letting guests know that maybe we're going to sail out of Baltimore next week. I think that's really optimistic because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, first they've got to get the channel cleared. They got to get the channel tested, get it cleared, make sure the ships can go through. And then all that commercial freight traffic that's been sitting, waiting to get in, they need to get in first before the cruise lines do. So it's going to be very interesting. Kathy, good morning. How are you? Hey, Amanda, how are you? Good to see you. Good, happy Sunday morning to everybody. So that's going to be very interesting to see if that comes through. I mean, obviously, maybe Carnival knows something that we don't know. They are clearly in contact with all the officials there. But that would really surprise me if Carnival's actually able to sail next week. I hope it's true. That would be incredibly cool. And folks, I'm going to remind you, if you are new to the channel, we encourage you to like, subscribe, let YouTube and TikTok know that you like what we're doing. We like what we're doing. We hope you like what you're doing. David wants to take a birthday cruise in September. Where should you go? I would say the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, Alaska, Antarctica, Tahiti, the South Pacific, Northern Europe. I mean, come on. Seriously, the whole world is at play. Where do you want to go?
They're not cruising everywhere
So,
in
Rebecca,
September.
where would you go in September? I want to know. And everybody out there, if you were taking a cruise in September for your birthday, which, by the way, that's our anniversary month, so we do cruise in September a lot. We tend to do the Caribbean. Rebecca, where would you send David? Let's see. I would send you, if you haven't been, I might send you to Alaska because Alaska is a true bucket list item. And if you're looking in the Caribbean, yeah, it is a good time to go to Alaska because it'll be a lot quieter. And then if you're looking at the Caribbean, I would definitely do like a Southern Caribbean, like get down deep into the Southern Caribbean. What about you, Rebecca?
Hard to say. I mean, It kind of depends on the mood, the budget, you know, the ships that are there.
Yeah.
Just kind of depends.
To me, if you were just like, hey, I just want to really celebrate and I want something different, it would be Alaska for sure. If you want to party with friends, then maybe the Southern Caribbean, like go down to some island that you haven't been to yet. I don't think anybody's sailing out of San Juan at that time. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. Yeah. Nate is saying that he went to Alaska September 29th, last cruise of the season, and everything on sale like the tours. Yeah, it will be. And one of the things you got to be careful about going that late into the season, some of the things are going to start closing up too, because there's not that many ships coming in anymore. In fact, Norwegian has extended the season all the way to about Halloween. That's kind of crazy. That's a bit late going up there, but they're also banking on the Northern Lights being visible. Kurt is saying, oh, that's a good idea. Kurt is saying a cruise to the Maldives would be nice. Ooh, that's a good one, Kurt. I like that one a lot. Yeah. So there's a lot of places to go. I mean, yeah, September is a good month to cruise because kids are back in school. So things are definitely marked down. And like we said, we're getting to the back end of the Alaska season. You know what you can also look at too now, September is also kind of the end of the Mediterranean season. So we're starting to cool off over there. Well, not the end, more October, but it's not nearly as crowded if you're going over in September. So that's a good time to go to the Med as well. It really is, especially if you're going a little bit later in September. And then if you hit it right, because, the end of September, maybe a couple of ships start to come back, but definitely October, a lot of ships start coming back to the U.S., so you could do a Mediterranean cruise, and if you got time, you could do that transatlantic. That would be kind of cool. So yeah, that's nice. Lori, you're doing a Mexican Riviera just because you've never done one. Hey, why not, right? Go down to the Mexican Riviera, and then, you can have the Love Boat theme in your head the whole time. Because, that was like every Love Boat cruise, right? We're going to Puerto Vallarta.
95% of them.
I know, it really was.
Occasionally, they'd have the special somewhere else.
Exactly. So, yeah, Nate is saying that a lot of the stores were closed in Alaska on September 29th. So you can imagine if you were going in August or if you're going in October, right? Like a lot of that stuff is closing down. So I really don't know why Norwegian extends it out that far. But September is a lovely month to go to Alaska because the kids are back in school. Some of the ships are not there anymore. There's about 60 plus ships in Alaska during the heart of the season. And now Virgin Voyages is sending the Brilliant Lady up there in 2026. That's going to be crazy. But one more ship. Corey saying sail out of Vancouver to Alaska. Book the train ride to see the glaciers. Absolutely. Then you bring up the train ride. Don't forget the Rocky Mountaineers out there, which is absolutely stonking amazing. If you're going out to an Alaska cruise, you could always add the Rocky Mountaineer train, which is amazing. We've had a couple of clients consider it, but we haven't booked one on it yet. So if you want to be the first one to book on it, I would love to send you out on it. I would absolutely. Let me just reach over here for a second. Here we go. Back that up. There we go. I'm back. Did you miss me? All right. Good morning. Bigger Andrew wants to go to on the Luminoso so you can go to Fiji. I'll tell you what, Fiji, I would be, if it's still doing that run, the Norwegian Spirit is doing that run as well. Very small ship, absolutely beautiful. Just had a $100 million renovation. So she's out of there as well. Hey, Janine, how are you? Hello, Arizona. I hope you all are doing well out there. First time here. Well, welcome. I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. The other voice that you will hear from time to time is my lovely wife, Rebecca, who sits right off camera. The two of us make up Where's Walter Travel. We are your independent travel advisor doing cruises, land, luxury, expedition. In fact, if you haven't seen it, go back to our Thursday night live that we just did on YouTube. Go back and watch the replay from this past Thursday night. We had Railroad Trips. This is adult only, all-inclusive, small group, only 20 people. They absolutely will not allow any more than 20 people on their trips. They are absolutely stonking amazing. They have two separate trips in Italy. They have a trip in Greece, and they have a trip in the Philippines with more coming. So, we do land-based trips as well. And in fact, sometimes we've taken some clients who want to cruise, moved them over to a land trip because it just worked out better for what they want to do. So good morning, Betty. How are you? Hey, Chris, how you doing? Good to see you. User, and if I didn't see somebody, hello. User 319, have you ever bid on a move up and got it? Actually, we did on Virgin Voyages.
Only once, the one and only time.
We generally don't do this because we want to know exactly where our cabin is, right? We don't like surprises. We We don't want to know that all of a sudden the nightclub is below us, the gym is above us, all of that good stuff. So we always pick, and we always recommend to our client, do not go guarantee unless you're willing to accept, the risk. But on Virgin Voyages, we bid on a central sea terrace because
No, we bid on both the sea terrace and the central sea terrace.
Yeah, and we got the central.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's almost not a bad spot on Virgin for them except deck 14. And we were willing to accept that. Okay, if we get deck 14, we get deck 14.
Because our original cabin was an insider.
Yeah.
And either of those balconies was going to have a hammock. And that was the main, because I started regretting my decision to book the
not have a hammock. So if you're on Virgin Voyages, you got to have a hammock. And Rebecca wanted that hammock. So we did get it. We have had clients who have done it. We always, remind our clients, so here's how the bid works. If they accept the bid, most of the cruise line, I understand there might be one or two that maybe give you a heads up, but for the most part, it's okay. We take your money. You're now in that cabin. Your old cabin's gone. And wherever we put you, that's it. You got no choice. We got you there. And it's going to be a better category, but will it be in a better location? That's the scary part of doing the bid. So,
and
we only done that one time on Virgin.
Particularly for people who are traveling as parents in one cabin and children in an adjoining cabin next to them, do not ever, ever, ever do this, because there is absolutely zero guarantee that they will be able to move both cabins and still be adjoining.
Yeah.
Do not do it.
Because then you won't be able to get on the ship. So if you don't understand what we're talking about, if you're a parent and you want to put kids who are under 21 in their own cabin, you have to be adjoining, you have to be connecting. Some cruise lines allow it to be right across the hall of an interior. If you bid and you move, now they're never going to line you guys back up again because they don't know. It's a fully automated system. So they're never going to be able to line you guys back up again. And if you're not next to each other, across the hall from each other, you're not going to be able to board the ship. And that'll be terrible. So don't do the bidding process if you guys are like side by side for a reason. Janine, we live in Orlando, Florida. That's where we are. So this is, we're in a rental house in Orlando, Florida. Nate, absolutely. We booked Disney. Disney's one of our favorites.
Both
They're amazing.
Theme parks and the cruises. Yep. Alani.
Yeah, we book everything Disney. That's kind of the cool thing about Disney.
Well, there's some of the overseas ones we can.
Yeah. We also do Adventures by Disney, which is awesome. But pretty much everything Disney, we do book, which is kind of cool because that's how they set up their book. The Disney's really cool with the way they set up their booking system for us. It's just one booking system with the theme parks, the hotels, Alani, Adventures by Disney, and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, Nate, if you want to book some days in the theme parks in Orlando, we can book the tickets. We've got some folks coming in June and September, actually, and then we try to go visit with them. Yeah. So MSC is interested to go on holidays in one family RV for the first time. I can't help you with that. This would be the wrong channel for that. You can go look for an RV channel. A friend of mine actually is really big into that, and I would like to do it someday, but that's not something we can help you with. I am so sorry. Tricia, you're heading out on the MSC Seashore shortly. Oh, yes. Fun ship. Really fun ship. I have some TikToks. I have some YouTubes up there about it. It's a fun ship. I like the seaside a little bit more, if I'm being totally honest. But
that could have been the particular crew that was on.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say about it, though, that was one of those weeks in December when the weather was bad. I mean, there was a lot of rough seas. There was a lot of weather going on. That ship rode, it just cut like butter, whatever we were riding through. I think there was one time I felt like a little motion on the top, but I was really impressed with how well that ship rode through the water. It was like just slicing through butter. Just going through it. Absolutely.
And we were in the regular. We weren't in the yacht club.
Haven't done the yacht club yet. Yacht club is coming.
That's on our list.
We're going to do it. Probably out of Port Canaveral. Lots of things to talk about with Port Canaveral too. So much going on. Steve, you head out on your cruise on June 30th out of Miami. Steve, it's your first cruise? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, first of all, welcome to the cruise family. Cheers. Love welcoming a new cruiser to the family. So biggest rule you need to know is that nothing is guaranteed on a cruise. With an itinerary, you can have your itinerary change before you go on a cruise. It can change once you set sail. There are a variety of reasons. Most often it's due to weather. The ship just simply can't come in. So you just roll with it. You got to be able to roll with it on a cruise line and just know that your port stop at this port may turn into a sea day or it may turn into another port. due to circumstances beyond their control. But you're going to be on a ship, and you are going to be, being taken care of hand and foot. So,
well,
how bad can it be?
The other big thing for first-time cruisers is make sure you put your phone in airplane mode when you're on the ship.
1,000%. Because your phone, so all the ships now have maritime cellular, and your phone will automatically connect to that cellular. You could have a bill of $1,000 when you get home. No lie. There have been people who have been complaining on social media about, I have a $500 phone bill. How did that happen? She didn't put it in airplane mode, so do that. But have a good time. Have a good time. Oh, you've been on board aircraft carriers. Well, there you go.
Oh, this will be way smoother than that.
I'm assuming you were in the Navy, so thank you for our service. We have Rick also watching over on the YouTube side. By the way, okay, now I don't know if MSC does this. Rick on the Celebrity Beyond, because he was in the Navy, he requested a bridge tour. And Captain Kate granted it. He was invited up to the bridge. I don't know the whole story yet because I haven't talked to Rick about it. But he said that the first officers welcomed him. They gave him a tour of the bridge and all of that. So I don't know if MSC does the same thing. But you could go to guest services and let them know, hey, I served in the Navy. Could I get a bridge tour, please, with your first officers? And maybe they'll grant it. So. Tricia said, since sailing in the yacht club, you are hooked. You know what? I'll tell you what, that MSC yacht club is a great value. There is you can get in the yacht club for about the same price as a balcony on a lot of other cruise lines. Yeah, like balconies and junior suites on other cruise lines. You can get into the yacht club. So Steve, you were in the Marine Corps. Hey, I would let them know, hey, I was in the Marine Corps and I was a Harrier. Wow, you are a Harrier aircraft mechanic. That is incredibly cool. I love that. You and I could just talk for the next hour and a half, but I think we need to stay on topic with cruising. But that's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for your service. That's awesome. JDK, you're about to board the Beyond. Hey, Rick just got off the Beyond just a little while ago. Looking forward to the first time on the Edge class to see the differences. Very nice, very nice. See, JDK is saying they paid $80. Forgot to put it into airplane mode. I'm telling you.
Yep, $80 is pretty cheap.
That's pretty good. You got to weigh cheap, but your phone will just automatically connect because there is now maritime cellular. AT&T has a service. I don't know much about it because we don't use AT&T, but they actually have a cellular plan, so you can just leave your phone on for the entire cruise if you're on AT&T. Again, we use
in that certain plan in AT&T.
Yeah. Well, you got to buy it. No, you got to pay for it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying you can't have any old AT&T plan.
No, you gotta pay specifically to go on the ship with the plan. Yeah. So yes, definitely stay out of that mode. Hey, Kurt was an F-14 mechanic in the Navy. That is so cool, Kurt. You could always ask too. So folks, so just so you know, if you were in the Navy, and we learned this from Rick, to be honest with you, I did not know this. If you served in the Navy, you can apparently go to guest services and you can request a tour of the bridge, and there's no guarantee they're going to allow it, but if they can, they may welcome you up into the bridge and you can get to meet the captain, the first officers, and all of that stuff. So yeah, I would say go for it. That is so awesome. So QJAT, how are you? What's going on with the Orlando port? Port Canaveral is expanding, if that's what you mean. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about. They have announced the plans for a new port. In fact, I did a TikTok about it. I don't know if I think I posted on YouTube as well. But so what they're doing now is they're adding another terminal, Terminal 5, I think it's what they're calling it. It's in Berth 8, Berth 8, Terminal 5. It's all the way around the far end of it, of the port, which is actually really nice because as they're constructing this, it should not create a whole lot of issues with the port operations. Right now, there is a spot where like Carnival and Royal Caribbean are on the far end where they have a couple of terminals right next to that same basin, and they say it's going to handle the largest ships, which is awesome. So they may be able to reposition Quantum class ships, Oasis class ships into that area. But that is going to open within the next 2 years. So Port Canaveral, right now, the busiest cruise port in the world based on passenger volume, it's going to be getting another terminal. So that's crazy. Janine, do we do river cruises? Absolutely. And the one I'm really excited about right now is Riverside. Riverside is coming along, and we had they had the Crystal ship. If you know anything about the history of river cruising, there was a cruise line called Crystal, and they had amazingly beautiful ships. And when they went under, the ship just kind of went away. Well, Riverside has brought them back, and they are looking absolutely beautiful. And our representative is actually going to be on a Thursday night with us in June. I don't know if she's coming. I think she's coming on in June. So if you want to learn more about that, but yes, I am going to be talking with her on that. But yeah, we have booked, so far we've booked Avalon, AMA, Uniworld, Viking.
I think that's it.
Not Tauk yet. Almost Tauk one or two times, but that was it. Hey, Silver Librarian, how are you? Stay out of what phone mode? You wanna go into airplane mode when you're on a cruise ship. You absolutely do not want to be leave your phone standard. If you leave your phone in standard cellular mode, it will automatically connect to the ship's maritime cellular. That is very, like, we're talking, like $3, $4, $5 a minute plus the data charges for pulling down data. So yeah, you want to go into airplane mode, or you're going to have a nasty surprise with a cell phone.
And you generally will have to go into airplane mode, and then once you've done that, turn the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth back on. Yeah.
You generally need to have Bluetooth on a ship to make everything work properly, especially the app. So I love this. John said they had Captain Sandy from Below Deck on your Apex sailing. She took lots of pictures with the passenger. I bet she did. And is she the godmother of that ship? Like, she's a godmother of a ship. I think that's the one too. That is really awesome. And I love seeing Captain Kate and her hanging out together. John, absolutely, or Douglas, I'm so sorry. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. May all your cruises be back to back to back, and your drink package be free. I love that, Douglas. That is so awesome. And happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who's watching. We still have Rebecca's mom with us. So Lisa, happy Mother's Day. Oh, John, she's the godmother of the Ascent. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. Steve, have we cruised in the Haven on Norwegian? Your wife and I are booked in the Haven for your anniversary. Holy smokes. That's awesome. We have not actually sailed in the Haven yet. We have booked quite a few in the Haven, but we haven't actually sailed in it yet. So many ships, so little time. I mean, I know we live right here in Florida. You think we'd be on every ship every single week. One of my colleagues, I swear, she's on a ship or she's somewhere in the world every single week. I think she travels like 40 weeks a year. I want to be just like her when I grow up. We're not there yet. We're working on it. Our next cruise is actually going to be on the Margaritaville Islander. Oh, I can't wait to talk about. Oh, well, we can talk about that some today as well. But the Margaritaville Islander is coming up soon.
And you may have deliberately, or you may have missed it. I don't know. But is it common to get sick on cruise ships?
Is it common to get sick on cruises? No,
we've been on 25, I think, and never have we gotten sick.
No, it's not. It's a very uncommon thing. So generally it's norovirus that happens, and that's just a result of somebody not washing their hands.
Generally a passenger.
Yeah, more often than not, it's a passenger not washing their hands. So you get a norovirus outbreak. They have to report it to the CDC if it gets over a certain number. It is a rare occurrence. In fact, we were on a Holland America cruise literally the week after 350 plus passengers had gotten sick on the previous cruise. And
out of about 3,000?
Yeah, out of about 3,000. And we know that because Holland America had a letter waiting for us on our bed saying, hey, on the previous sailing, this many people got sick due to norovirus. So on this sailing, we're making these changes. And it basically for the first 3 or 4 days, they served us instead of us being able to serve at the buffet, which I much prefer. I wish they'd get rid of the self-serve buffet because that would actually get rid of, the rare occurrences that this happens. And so for like the first 3 or 4 days, they served us at the buffet. But to our knowledge, they never reported an outbreak on our sailing. Yeah. And it's incredibly rare. When you consider that probably around 1 million people are sailing every single week on a cruise ship.
And even when it does happen on the ship, it's generally 1 or 2% tops of the people on that ship that get sick.
Oh yeah.
So it's even when you're on a ship,
percentage.
that has and it's unfortunate, and I'm sorry it happens, but it does happen on land.
It does happen. I'm sorry, I missed that.
It does happen on land too. It's just they're not required to report it in the same way that the cruise lines are.
No, in fact, I used to go to a convention every year with over 100,000 people in Las Vegas. And I can't tell you how many times all my friends would go, oh man, I came down with con crud. Oh, I came down with con crud. I'm sick. I'm this, I'm that. It was probably norovirus, but nobody has to report it. You know, just think about all the sports arenas and all the hotels and everything like that. You know, theme parks. I mean, they all don't have to report it. So people get sick at all these places. They just don't think about. They're like, oh, I got food poisoning. Hey, you might have norovirus. You just don't realize it. So.
And I'm really sorry that I can see where your husband might not want to cruise again because of that, getting so sick. I mean, it's awful. Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to get sick on your first cruise.
It is pretty rare. And, I mean, very, very small percentages of the cruise ever get violently ill.
Yeah, I mean, like Rebecca said, we've been cruising almost 20 years, 10 different cruise lines, 25 ships. Margaritaville will be our 11th different cruise line, and so far, you know, knock on wood, I mean, we've gotten you know, like colds and stuff like that on ship, but
we could have gotten that on our land portions,
the only time we almost got sick was our own fault. We were watching a 3D movie while the ship was moving. It was like the Penguin to Madagascar, and Royal Caribbean was showing it in 3D, and so the 3D is doing this, and the ship was doing this, and it was like about halfway through, like we were both like, okay, we got to leave because we're getting ill. And that was our own fault for watching a 3D movie on a moving ship. Lesson learned. Never did that again.
Yes, we highly advise against it.
But, you know, I mean, if you want to give it another chance, just reach out. We would love to, you know, maybe we can find a ship and a sailing that will work for you. But yeah, I hope you guys give it another chance. I mean, cruising is lovely, but, you know, all-inclusive resorts are out there and land trips are out there. And, you know, we can certainly talk about that as well. I mean, we have some clients that just don't cruise either. They just go on land tours. And that's what you do. So use a 319. Do I have a crystal block? If you're talking about Royal Caribbean, no, we don't. We're not at that level because we go on so many ships and we go on to so many different cruise lines. Like we're at Elite on Princess. That's about it. But everybody else, you know, we're getting up there on Celebrity. But I mean, it takes us a long time to earn any kind of loyalty because we keep jumping around. There's over 350 ships out there. I would like to sail on all of them. So. QJAT. I'm so sorry. Kujat, maybe? You're going on the Allure of the Seas in September. Yay. Awesome. Janine, are rogue waves common? Not really. You know, to my knowledge, they're not really. You don't really hear about them. You know, the most violent one that we have heard about was unfortunately when somebody died in the Drake Passage, I believe it was, on Viking, when a wave came in and broke the glass, which was absolutely amazing, the power of that, because that was a brand new ship. So that was the latest and greatest technology. But you really don't hear about them all that often. And, you know, to my knowledge, there have not been that many, certainly not while passengers have been on board the ship, to my knowledge. But like the Drake Passage is one of the most dangerous places in the world. And you kind of know that when you go into the Drake Passage, you know, you're in for a rough ride most of the time. They try to time it right, but most of the time you are going to be in for a rough ride when you go down through the Drake Passage, which you need to do to get to Antarctica. Yeah, Antarctica. Yeah, I always get them confused.
And generally, even when there is a rogue wave, I mean, as far as I know, that Viking one's the only one I can recall where a passenger died on it. Most of the time, people might get thrown around a little bit, or maybe some dishes or something fall on them, so they might get some scrapes and bruises. But most of the time, even when it does happen, it's very minor injuries and inconvenience to the passengers.
Yeah. And Betty Sims is saying that she loved the Allure of the Seas. So you are definitely going to love that ship. Nice, fun ship to go on. Lisa's asking if we can do a general opinion of each cruise line. Well, first of all, there's too many cruise lines, but like Carnival, more of a party boat. It's really, you know, that is a wide generalization. So here's the thing. Instead of telling you a general opinion of each cruise line, I'll tell you more about the length of the cruise and how that affects what your experience might be. So for example, if you go on a 3-night cruise, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, doesn't really matter who you go on, maybe less so with Celebrity. That's a party ship. Okay, that is a 3-night booze cruise for probably a significant portion of the cruise passengers, because I call that a Las Vegas weekend, because you've got 3 nights, right? I've got the drink package. I'm going to get the most I can out of this. So you're going to have a subset of people on a 3-night cruise, no matter the cruise line, no matter where you're sailing from. They are there to party. Same thing with Virgin Voyages has a 4-night cruise. That is a much younger and a more party demographic. But as the cruise gets longer, you go on a 7-night, you go on a 10-night, you go on, anything longer than that. It's a much more mellow vibe, because people pace themselves. I'm here for a week. I'm here for 10 days. I'm going to spend more time on the ship. There's no need for me to party hard every single night. You're still going to have a small subset of those people that, look, I'm here to party. I got my drink package. I'm going to go. But on the short cruises, it's a larger subset of people. On the longer cruises, it's a much smaller subset of people. Now, Carnival, if you want to just say, well, what are the family cruise lines? What cruise lines are going to have a lot more kids? Well, of course, Carnival, Disney, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and MSC. MSC more mainly because the pricing is absolutely unbelievable. So you're going to have a lot of kids, a lot of families on those cruise lines. If you want a cruise line that's a little bit more adult, a little bit more adult forward, then you would look at Princess, Celebrity. Certainly Virgin Voyages is 18 plus. Viking is 18 plus or 21. Yeah, 18 plus. Holland America, adults, skews adult as well. So that's just a big generalization of everything.
And the other factor in that is the time of year that you're traveling. Particularly the Caribbean. If you're sailing in the Caribbean when kids are out of school, summers and holidays,
right,
there's going to be a lot more activity, a lot more going on, a lot more action around you.
Right.
You sail, in January after the holidays are over, it's pretty mellow.
Yeah. So the time of year that you sail, where you're sailing from, that has an effect. So Lisa, if you want to reach out, we'd be more than happy to help out. Again, our services are 100% free to you. We do not charge a dime. You're watching us on TikTok. If you click our logo, you go to our profile, there's a link tree there. And the very first link is going to be contact us. You're watching us on YouTube. There's links down in the description. If you're watching on LinkedIn, you can go to my profile. And if you're watching on Facebook, I think there's a contact there as well. Or you can just simply go to where'swaltertravel.com and then click on contact us. And you can just contact us. And the way it works is we do an inbound call where we talk to you. We find out what you're looking for. Myself and more so Rebecca is going to go out and do some research and find out what are some of the options. And then we generally present to you 3 to 4 options to start with. And that's how we roll. And from those 4 options, you might choose a cruise. You might not. You might say, I like this kind of thing, but can you go look for more of this?
Or you'll like pieces of each one of the ones we presented, and maybe we can find something that combines the pieces you like.
Exactly. And I can't tell you how many times now we're starting to put together land and sea. Where like people are going to Greece, and of course they're flying all the way to Greece, and we're going to be in Athens. So I'd really like to spend some time in Athens. So now we're putting together, Athens tours and also getting on a ship kind of a thing. I hope that's helpful. Laura, yes, it can happen everywhere. That's the right attitude. That is definitely the right attitude. So I really hope you're going to be going back. Sean, have we been on the Holland conning stamp? You're going to be there in August, on the ship. Okay. We have not done the conning stand in particular. We've been on the New Amsterdam. Our Holland America rep has been all over me. She's like, well, you got to get back on the ship.
I do want to get on one of those, the New Statendam, Koningsdam, Rotterdam, one of those newer.
We live in Florida. You think we could get on one of those damn ships. But we've been very, very busy and just trying to make things work. We're still building our business, so we're really concentrating on that. I can tell you Holland America, what I love about Holland America since we've sailed has really leaned into the live music. They've got the they've got the Lincoln Center, they got the BB King, they've got the Billboard, they got the Rolling Stone. They've really leaned into that live music at night. The thing about Holland America and Princess, they have been doing Alaska the longest, so they've got the prime berths in Alaska. So like some cruise lines don't actually berth in Ketchikan. They actually berth like maybe 5 miles away, whereas Princess and Holland, you're like right in. You step off the ship, you are right there. You're going to have a lovely time. We understand when we were on it the last time, the main dining room was very hit or miss. We understand the main dining room has gotten a lot better. The buffet was outstanding when we went on it, and we understand that the buffet is still outstanding. I don't know if Cunningham has a tamarind restaurant, but if it does, yeah, that is an amazing. If you like Asian food, tamarind was absolutely amazing. So very, very good. Ivory, are we going on the MSC World America? We're planning on it. Yeah, we've got some people booked on it. In fact, I don't know if John's still watching. John is going on to World America. You never know. We might join John on that particular cruise. I don't know if Ocean Key has reopened, but it's right around the time that it's going to reopen. She's getting herself ready for the World America. So yeah, we're planning on it. Betty, does the bar tab on Virgin Voyages cover the specialty coffee? Yes, it does. The bar tab covers all paid drinks. That's just basically the way to look at it. You can't go to the Booty Free store and buy bottles of alcohol, but you can purchase anything that is a paid drink. You can use the bar tab for that. That's a great question.
So mocktails, fresh pressed juices, specialty coffee, specialty teas.
Yeah. Now, if you have the Deep Blue Extras, either through a status match or you've been on Virgin enough times, you get 2 specialty coffees per day as part of the Deep Blue Extras. I think the Blue Extras, you might get 1. Can't remember. But yeah, that is a great question. Thank you. Mary says, listening to us is a great way to start Mother's Day. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And good morning to the mothers out there. That is awesome. John wants us to book the World America to go on his cruise. You never know, John. We might come on that one. We just might join you. And I'll remind you, if you're new to the channel, we are Walter and Rebecca. Where's Walter Travel? We're independent travel advisors. We book cruises, land trips, luxury, and expedition. So if we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. And if you are new to the channel, we invite you to subscribe, like, share, so that YouTube, TikTok know that you like what we're doing. And even over on LinkedIn and Facebook, you can hit those like buttons to let them know. So look at this, Broadway Dreamer. First of all, I love your handle. I grew up in the Hudson Valley, New York. Spent a lot of time going to Broadway with my mom. And then my brother-in-law was one of the original Mr. Mistopheles 30 plus years ago in the original show of Cats. You're getting married on the Mardi Gras next year. Yay! That is so awesome. I've got a bride going out in June on the Norwegian Breakaway. And we have another wedding now I'm blanking out on. Oh, we have a vow renewal going out on Carnival in 2025. So yay, congratulations. I hope it's awesome.
Oh yeah, Rick's pointing out the Lincoln Center thing has been discontinued on Holland.
Oh, has it? Oh, that's a bummer. I'm so sorry.
I forgot about that. Yes, that is true.
I'm so sorry. Oh, bummer. But congratulations. Janine Jones, I hear that people hog the lounge chairs. Yes, we have the chair hogs out there. There are people who will literally get up at, say, 5 in the morning.
They'll send one person from their group.
Yeah, and they will put down towels and crap on all the chairs. Now, the good news is the cruise lines are finally starting to listen to all of us and say, this is crap. This is BS. People should not be allowed to do this. And in fact, John Heald, who is the brand ambassador for Carnival, has actually been posting pictures that they are removing things. And on the Sky Princess, when we were on the Sky Princess, geez, when was that? Almost a year ago now.
Yeah, it was February. So a year ago, February.
It was almost a year ago. We actually saw them back then starting to remove things. Like people would come up and go, hey, we haven't seen anybody in these chairs. Pool attendant would pick the stuff up, move it off, and then they got the chairs. So slowly but surely, the cruise lines are starting to realize that, hey, maybe we should do something about this. Yeah. But yes, they are known as chair hogs. We all hate them. If you are a chair hog, I'm sorry, we hate you. Just don't do it. If you're not going to be there, don't do it. If you're going to put your stuff down and come back in 15 minutes, that's fine. But if you're going to leave it there for hours, don't do it. So
consider everybody else on the ship.
Exactly.
We're all in it together.
Exactly. We are. Stash Riverside, any summer sales for Caribbean cruises for singles that you can recommend? I mean, I don't know any sales offhand, but solo friendly is going to be Norwegian, Virgin Voyages. Royal Caribbean has about 225 solo cabins across the fleet. The Celebrity Edge series has solo cabins, their balconies, and even Oceania has solo as well. So those are some of the solo friendly. Now, Princess can be solo friendly as well, but they don't advertise it. We just find out when we go in where, it's not that full 200% solo supplement. Sometimes it's like maybe 75% or 50%. But we just see it when we go into the booking engine. There's nothing advertised that says, hey, it's 50% off solo supplement right now. We just find out when we go in. But those are the ones. So, I mean, if you want to reach out, we'd be more than happy to talk to you. Where's waltertravel.com? You can just reach out. But those are them. Norwegian, Virgin, especially those are your two solo friendlies. Oceania, solo friendly. Royal Caribbean, about 200-ish, 220-ish solo cabins. And I don't know who else I just said. Now I'm blanking. I talk too fast. So Larry, this is a great question from Larry. You've been on the Celebrity Beyond. Would you be happy on the Silhouette? So for those of you who don't know, Celebrity Beyond is an Edge class ship. That is their newest, their biggest ships. And then the Solstice class is the next class right down below. That's what the Silhouette is. I will tell you, I think you will be happy. The Solstice class is absolutely gorgeous. Now, she doesn't have, she has more of a traditional atrium piazza, if you will, where at the Edge has that massive center area. The Edge also has, the Edge class ship also has, the Eden area in the back, which of course, so it's going to be more of a relaxed vibe, I think, compared to the Edge class ship that has more things to do and more things going on. And I think the atrium area is a much louder place. So like the Martini bar is down, like in deck 5. It's much smaller. They still do the flare, they still do all of that stuff, but it's not going to be as big and loud as it is on the Edge class ship. But we have been on the Solstice class 4 times, and it's absolutely gorgeous. We've yet to do an Edge class ship. We're going to get on an Edge class ship soon, but we have not been on them yet. I think you will still be happy on it. You just need to know that it's going to be I think it's going to be a quieter vibe. I think the Edge class ship, just because they're bigger, they have more to do, they tend to be a little bit more, especially at night, a little bit louder at night.
And I will say, admittedly, we have not been on Celebrity since before the pandemic, but at that point, the shows on the Solstice class ships were not the best.
Wow.
Maybe they've improved. I don't know, but
yeah.
I would say most of the production shows were
they were kind of
not good.
Yeah. And John is noting that Celebrity is even enforcing the chair savers in the retreat. They were removing items after 30 minutes. So that's the suite area. They were removing her. That is absolutely phenomenal. Tony, you just did an 11-day on the Venezia in April. Oh, I really want to get on the Venezia and the Firenze. I want to get on both of those ships. They look fabulous. If you don't know, those are the new Carnival ships. Well, they brought them over from the Costa brand. So these are ships that were designed for the Italian market, or they were designed in an Italian way. And Carnival, to their credit, pretty much left them alone. They added some of their fun ship tweaks to it, but they pretty much left them alone. So I kind of call them a grown-up Carnival ship. I think they're a lot of fun. So that is awesome. So Silver Librarian, that's awesome. Oh, and Laura, so you're saying, yeah, I hope you guys get back on there. And Laura's saying that she did an 8-night in the ABCs and it wasn't a rowdy cruise at all. Again, that's a longer cruise. So thank you for joining in on that. Rick is saying you booked the Celebrity Constellation out of Tampa for the first time. What should you expect? I don't know. I mean,
we have not been on the Millennium class.
Yeah,
either.
We haven't been on the Millennium class yet. It's definitely a smaller, a chill vibe on that ship. People who go on the Millennium class ship love the Millennium class ship. We have 10 people on the Connie. She's known as the Connie. We've sent quite a few sailors out on the Connie, and they have absolutely loved her. I don't know which itinerary you're doing, but you should have an absolutely lovely time. Take everything from the Beyond, scale it way down. It's going to be a much quieter vibe at night. That's going to be the big difference. It will be a much quieter vibe at night. You won't have quite as many restaurants to choose from. The shows will be a little smaller because the theater is a little bit smaller. But I believe that those ships are the ones that have those glass elevators right on the outside. So you can go up and down the elevator looking at, oh, yeah, you're going to have a great time. We're looking at that ship potentially for Thanksgiving. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we're kind of thinking about it for Thanksgiving. So, yeah, you're going to have a great time, Rick. Man, I can't wait to hear about that one. New media prop. Is Viking good for seniors? Your mom wants to take a cruise. Absolutely. So, and I don't know if you're talking about river or ocean.
either way.
But yeah, for both ways, yeah, Viking tends to attract a more mature crowd. One, just the pricing does attract a little bit more of a mature crowd. Two, the itineraries tend to be longer. So anytime you have a longer itinerary, especially if it's 10 nights or longer, that automatically is going to skew the age older, because like a lot of families, a lot of younger folks either don't want to or they can't.
Viking's 18 plus
Yeah,
anyway.
Viking is what I meant, like 20s.
Oh, yeah.
20s and 30s.
Well,
We're
okay.
in our 50s. So any of y'all who are under 40, you're the younger folks. But, a lot of times younger people, they don't want to go on a longer cruise, or they just don't have the time to get away from work. So yeah, Viking is very good. Now, the one thing about Viking that really surprises a lot of people, a lot of times that final payment is due a year or more before the cruise.
Particularly if you've never sailed Viking
Yeah, if you've
before.
never sailed Viking before. So that's a big turnoff for a lot of people, and a big surprise when they find out, wait, I got to pay for the cruise like 14 months before I even take the cruise. Yeah, so that's a requirement of Viking. So we have seen some of our river clients decide, you know what, I'd rather go on Ama or Avalon or, some of the other guys that, it's that standard 120 or 90 days before the cruise that you have to do that final payment. So that is one thing to be aware of with Viking. They do demand that final payment way out in advance versus some of the other cruise lines.
But there are other luxury cruise lines who have a similar vibe and a similar passenger set, like, Regent,
Oceana,
Azamara, Silver Sea. There are other lines that will have a similar vibe and less of a lead way for final payment.
Yeah. Aubrey Cat, do we have a recommended cruise packing list on your website? Actually, we do. That's one of the things we actually do have on there. If you go to our website, we have a travel resource library. In fact, I think there's a search right on the homepage. But if you go into our travel and resource library, I know you can search packing list and it will pop up. So yeah, we do. And we encourage everybody to have a packing list. We still use it even almost 20 years later. You just check off all those little things that, like batteries. You want to bring batteries. Bring all of your cables, because they're not going to have cables. When it comes to batteries, they will probably have AA and AAA on the ship. They're going to be really expensive. But if you need any other kind of batteries, they probably will not have it. You're going to have to go run off in port to find them. Make sure you bring all of your cables with you.
Small first aid kit.
Yeah, small first aid kit. I mean, we've got all this on there. So yeah, a packing list is a must for cruise. Even if you're a veteran cruiser, just put a packing list together. So yeah, absolutely. Wendy, have we been on the Carnival Vista yet? Not yet. We've been on the Mardi Gras. The Vista just came back out of dry dock. She's looking absolutely gorgeous. If you want to do the Havana Cabana, we highly recommend the Vista or her sister, the Horizon.
Or Panorama.
Or the Panorama if you're out in California. The Havana Cabana on the XL class ship is not quite the same. You don't have the pool. I mean, you do have a pool. It's a little plunge pool. But the setup that they did on the Vista class ship is so much better than the setup that they did on the XL. The XL ships are great, but if you're interested in a Havana Cabana, I would go with the Vista class ship instead. So yeah. Thank you, Rick. So sad that Lincoln Center has been discontinued. Oh, hey, Janine, have a great day. Thanks for joining in. Sandra, how is Alaska cruises for solo travelers? Is on your bucket list. I think every cruise is amazing for solo travelers. Absolutely. So our friend Stephanie is of the Sean and Stef channel. I hope you all are following her, Sean and Stef, on YouTube and pretty much every single social channel out there. She's a solo traveler, and it's amazing to watch her go out. What's really cool, so most of the cruise lines will have some sort of a solo gathering, like the first night of the cruise, usually it's the first night of the cruise, and usually there's a crew member, like say a cruise director, Stef, who's going to be there for that first one, kind of like, say, hey, everybody, and then after that, there will be something each night. Now, the great way to meet other folks, obviously doing excursions, you're going to meet other folks. I met a lovely solo traveler when we were cruising over the holidays in Puerto Plata. We were the only two singles who were doing a particular excursion because Rebecca was not going to get muddy. We were doing doom buggies.
Well, it wasn't
mud.
So much. I didn't really know about the mud part.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do doom buggies.
Right. So, but yeah, I think Alaska, and just like getting involved in activities on the ship, like if there's anything going on the ship, classes, dance classes, this, that, and the other is a great way to meet other folks.
Or just sit at the bar and start talking to people.
Yeah, just start talking to people, That's a great way to meet folks. So yeah, I would think so. I mean, if you want to talk about it, we'd be more than happy to help you figure out like which ship and what itinerary might be best for you, and also which cruise lines are going to be more solo friendly. Like we've got Virgin Voyages now going up there in 2026. It's absolutely crazy. I think everybody should go to Alaska. We actually have an Alaska group going. In fact, I'll just pop it up on the screen for everybody who's watching on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. But we have a whole group. That's another great way to travel as a solo, get onto a group cruise so that you're going with a bunch of people that are already going to know each other before you even get on the ship. So we're going on the Oceania Riviera in June, June 26th through July 8th of 2025. I can't remember if we may have a solo or two. I know we got a bunch of solos.
We have at least one.
Yeah.
But she's solo, but she's traveling with her parents. So
that's right. Yeah,
she's in one cabin, they're in a second cabin.
So June 26th through July 8th, we're going to be on the Oceania Riviera up in Alaska. There's 12 nights round trip out of Seattle. It is a casual luxury cruise line, almost all inclusive. Oceania includes all the meals, the Wi-Fi, beer, wine, and champagne with lunch and dinner, specialty coffee, soda, soft drink. This particular cruise has up to $600 in shore excursion credit for double occupancy. And with our group, we also have prepaid gratuities, and we have the drinks package upgrades. That's like a $1,200 package that's been included by Oceania for our group. It's almost all inclusive up there. We also have a Sun Princess cruise going out in September, and I know we've got a bunch of solos on that one, October 19th through the 26th this year. If you want to just join a bunch of solo travelers, it's not your bucket list cruise, but it is an Eastern Caribbean going out on October 19th. Only the second sailing of the Sun Princess here in the United States. So that should be a lot of fun. But, Sandra, if you want to reach out, where's waltertravel.com? You're watching us on TikTok. You can click my logo, go into the link tree. The very first link is contact us. And those of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, there's either links in the description, or you can just go to the profile, and that's how you contact us. Or you just simply go to Where's Walter Travel, contact us, you set up a time to chat. So, hey, Jeremy and Cheryl, how are you? Thanks for joining us on a Mother's Day morning. Good to see everybody. Let's see. Marcel, have we been on the Oasis? We've been on the Symphony, which is her sister. Fabulous ship. It is going to feel crowded when you first walk on the ship because everybody walks on and they're just staring at the promenade and how amazing it is. And you're like, oh my God, there's so many people. But then once the ship starts sailing, that was the thing that we noticed. We were sailing the week before Christmas, so the ship was full. It was full. But once the ship started sailing, I was like, wow, it really spreads the people out. So even at like 8 o'clock at night, I was just walking through the promenade. I'm like, my God, there's nobody out here. So, the ship really spreads people out. So Funky Chicken, Disney and only Disney, heading out on your 20th Disney cruise. That's amazing. So what are you up to now? You must be at the one right before Pearl, right? So Pearl is like 50. That's amazing. I'll tell you what, Disney cruises are gorgeous. I'm salivating over the Treasure. I can't wait to get on the Treasure. She looks so freaking beautiful. You've got the Periscope pub, you got the Haunted Mansion thing. Oh my God, I want to go on that ship. Plus, you get 7 nights. That's why the Wish is beautiful. I'd like to see the Wish, but I really don't want to go on a 3 or 4 night cruise on that ship.
Even doing a back-to-back.
Even doing a back-to-back, I would prefer not to. We have sent clients on the Wish who have had a great time on it, and she's a beautiful ship. But I really want to do the Treasure. I want 7 nights on the ship. That's going to be amazing. Alpha, cost for a 3 to 7 day cruise out of LA this summer. Just reach out. I don't keep that stuff in my head.
Plus, it depends on the cruise line. Yeah. That particular date summer, you want to cruise.
It's going to be Carnival or Royal Caribbean. Those are your 2 choices during the summer. There's nobody else there. There's not going to be a 7-day cruise that I know of. It's only going to be 3 and 4 unless you tie them together. Now, Firenze might do some 5s over the summer. But to my knowledge, you're only going to have Carnival and Royal Caribbean. And I don't know, because every single cruise is a different price. You're welcome to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you, though. Take Flight. Oh, wow. Have we done Windstar? I'll tell you what, we so want to do Windstar. Now, one of our colleagues, Mandy, I want to be her when I grow up. She travels about 40 weeks a year, and she just got off of Windstar recently, and she's been on Windstar multiple times. We have seen the ships. I tell you what, so the thing about doing a Windstar, This is, I don't want to say rugged cruising. And it's not no frills, because you're going to get, that 5-star service, but your room is going to be a very nautical room, especially if you're going on one of the sailboats. It's just going to be a nautical room. The rooms are going to be serviceable, if you will, on the sailing ships. They're not like you're walking into a 5-star resort in a room, and it's not even like going into an interior room, say on a Princess ship. That might actually be nicer than the room you're going to get on a Windstar, but it's that experience. You are getting that 5-star food. You are having the sails go up. You are kind of participating a little bit more with the crew.
Don't travel 100% by sail. They have
no. When they can, they put the sails up. But it's the overall experience is something you are never going to get anywhere else. Now, they do have their yachts as well. So if you go on one of their yachts, that is more of that luxury yacht experience. But if you're talking about the sailing ship, you're going on a sailing ship. You're going on a working sailing ship. And just following along with her vicariously, I'm like, I got to get on one. I've always wanted to get on one of these ships, but now that I'm fortunate to work with somebody like Mandy, I really want to get on one of these ships. So that's what I can tell you about that. Our representatives with Windstar are phenomenal. We love them. They're absolutely great folks. But we have not actually been on a ship yet. Man, we have so many ships to get on. We've been on 25 so far. We've got to get on some more, and we're working on it. Like I said, June 11th, we're heading out on to Margaritaville. Islander, at the invite of Margaritaville, they've asked us to come on the Friends and Family Cruise, and we think we're going on the inaugural as well, which is sailing on the 14th. And we're going to have a chance to hang out with Tony from La Lita Loca for the day. So I'm really excited. New media prop. Your mom's retired. Yeah, just have her reach out. We'd be more than happy. Wendy is asking if anybody's seen an IMAX movie on board. So that will be on the Vista and the Horizon on Carnival. Yeah, that would be interesting, especially if the ship is moving. Yeah. I don't know that I'd want to see an IMAX movie on the ship while it's moving. Maybe while it's in port, I'll go to it. I can tell you that the movie theaters on the Disney Fantasy were some of the best movie theaters I've ever been to, period. Like land or sea, it's one of the best movie theaters I've ever been to. The sound was amazing. Now, I know on the Wish and also the Treasure, they've made 2 smaller theaters. I highly recommend, if you go on a Disney ship, go to the movie theaters. They're absolutely amazing. So, hey, Tim, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. T, what brilliant lady itineraries are you most excited for? The one I was most excited for was Quebec to Miami. That is a really cool one. It starts up in Quebec. It does kind of that New England, comes through Boston. It stops in Maryland, I think. But it's the Charleston stop that really excited me. I really want to see that ship docked in Charleston. Charleston's one of my favorite cities ever, because we used to live in the Atlanta area, so we would go to Charleston. That is actually the one that has me the most excited. The one that seems to have our sailors most excited, Panama Canal. We've got a bunch of sailors going on the Panama Canal. And then we've got a bunch on the New York to Quebec. Actually, we've got a bunch on that one as well. And then we've got a bunch of sailors who have already submitted the front of the line for Alaska. So if you don't know about that, you know that Virgin Voyages, or you may not know, Virgin Voyages is going to do a full Alaska season. I mean, if anybody had that on their crystal ball, that's amazing. None of us did. But from May through September of 2026, the Brilliant Lady is going to do an entire Alaska season. And the bookings will not go on sale until later on this year. But right now, you can put down a deposit of $500, $1,000, or $2,500 for the Sea Terrace, the Rockstar, or the Mega Rockstar. And 1 week before the bookings go on sale to the general public, you will be able to book your cabin. Now, this is a fully refundable deposit. I have heard reports that possibly the Rockstar and the Mega Rockstar may already be sold out. You can't put down any more deposits, but definitely the Sea Terraces, you can put down a $500 deposit. That's fully refundable. That holds your place in line. And then 1 week before they go on sale to the general public, you can go ahead and book Virgin in Alaska. If you're not happy with what you see, you just get your money back. So, Cat, can I talk about surge protectors and is approved? So anything that has a surge protector is not permitted. I mean, it's a general statement. But if you have anything that has a surge protector on it, they will confiscate that. Either when you're trying to check in, they'll either search your bag, or your room stewards are instructed that if they see something with a surge protector, they will remove it and give it back to you at the end of the cruise. That's just a general statement. You can double check the prohibited items, go into the FAQ of any cruise line and look at prohibited items and just see what they say.
And there is on Cruise Critic, I can't remember his handle, but there's a gentleman who is a former naval engineer who chimes in a lot. And he's talked about this, and it's way over my head exactly, but it's got something to do with the way the electricity is set up on ships, that the surge protector is just really, really bad for the ship.
Yeah.
So you can't have
basically no surge protectors are approved on a ship. To my knowledge, again, go to your cruise line, whatever cruise line you're going on, go to the FAQ, look for prohibited items. That's where you're going to find it. So John is looking at the Miami Mermaiden on the Brilliant. If you've never heard of a Mermaiden, what the heck is a Mermaiden? Virgin throws a big party when the ship is going out for the first time. And they've decided the Brilliant Lady is the last ship for a while. They haven't announced any more ships, so she's our last in a while. She's gonna do 4 different home ports in her first season. So every port gets a Mermaiden, an inaugural voyage with a big party. And I'm telling you, this is the party to go on. And John is saying, so we're going to have a Mermaiden in September in New York City, in October in Miami. This is 2025, September 2025, October 2025, Mermaidens in New York and Miami. And then in March of 2026, we're going to have a Mermaiden out of Los Angeles. I mean, Virgin Voyages and Hollywood, they just go together. And then in May of 2026, we're going to have a Mermaiden up in Seattle as well. So there are 4 Mermaidens. I don't know if the 4 pass is still available. They were selling a 4 pass. You get on all 4 of them in a seriously suite for $40,000 plus port fees and taxes. You need to put $10,000 down, but you sell on all 4. I haven't checked to see if they're still available. They may have sold out already because there's only, I don't know, maybe 20 seriously suites on the entire ship. So that's all they can sell. But yeah, John, you should do it, man. Miami's a great place for Virgin Voyages. I mean, you get the Bimini Beach Club and all of that. So it's going to be absolutely stonking amazing. So Silver Librarian enjoys meeting people as a solo traveler, asking to share a table in the buffet area. That's a great, yeah. You know, in the buffet, a lot of the tables are set up for 4, 6, 8. And, you know, sometimes you see 2 people sitting there. You're like, oh, just say, hey, can I sit here? And I'm going to say 90% of the time the answer is going to be yes, unless they're holding it for anybody else. But if you see some open space in a buffet, it's a great way to meet people, right? Breaking bread over a meal. Fabulous way.
And you can, quite a few cruise lines have now brought back being able to share tables in the main dining room as well.
Yeah.
So you can meet people that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see, Dre Carey, do we like Cunard cruises? We're actually talking about one right now. Have we been on the Queen Elizabeth? No, we have not been on a Queen yet. So what we're looking at right now is, and by the way, if you want to know like everything there is to know about Cunard cruises, then you got to go watch our friend Gary Bembridge's Tips for Travelers with 2 L's on YouTube. He's like the godfather, the king of all YouTube channels for cruising, and super nice guy. We are one of only 2 travel agencies in the United States that he recommends, and we're very thankful for his friendship and his support of Where's Walter Travel. But we are looking at taking the Queen Mary 2 over to Europe, doing maybe a river cruise and probably doing one of those Raro land tours that I talked about earlier, the all-adult, all-inclusive land tours. And then either taking the Queen Mary 2 back or maybe taking another ship back. So that's what we're looking at. Now, the thing about Cunard, they are probably the most traditional. They're like the last of the uber traditional cruise lines out there now. And so they have a very strict dress code for certain dining situations, right? There's certain restaurants you're going to have that jacket. You might have to have that tie. Like you're not getting in. Whereas pretty much every other cruise line is like, you know, business casual, great. Jeans and a nice shirt, great. Come on in. That's not going to work on Cunard. You're going to have to follow their dress code if you want to get into certain restaurants. Not to say that you can't be casual. You go to the buffet every single night, right? And eat up there and just be as casual as you want to be. But that is the big thing about going on to Cunard, is remembering that they are very, very strict about that dress code. But they are absolutely gorgeous ships.
Conveniently enough, on their website, they have actual pictures.
You know, I think they got rid of that.
Did they?
I tried to find that.
Ah, that's a bummer.
Just recently, but they did. They literally had a PDF with photos showing you what we suggest that you wear. And I went to find that the other day and I couldn't find it.
Huh.
I loved that. I should have downloaded that. I love that. Like the only cruise line that literally had.
Maybe someone has it somewhere online.
Yeah, maybe somebody has it saved somewhere. It was great. Ryan, the honest opinion on Princess. Love them, especially the Enchanted Princess. So our history started with the Caribbean Princess in 2006. Rebecca, to this day, is still a huge fan of the Love Boat, the original. I mean, how can you not be a fan of the Love Boat? You hear the music come on, it's like, yay. We got, 30 minutes of 60 minutes of mindless entertainment. Back when it was almost a 60-minute show, it was actually like a 47-minute show back then. So, yay. But we have now been on 5, Princess?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been on 5 and different ships every single time. Most recently, the Sky Princess in September.
Which is a sister to the Enchanted.
Yeah, we're going to be on the Sun Princess in October. Princess is a fabulous, like an absolutely fabulous cruise line. They are, they used to be like much more traditional. They have amazing service. So they have I don't want to say proper European service, but they have really high level, for the most part, European style service in the main dining room. They get to know you very quickly. Even if you're doing that anytime dining and you're rotating in and out, they get to know you. Ever since that medallion has come into play, the service has gotten even better, because now if you have any sort of an issue, they can find you anywhere on the ship. They don't have to call you in the room. They don't have to do anything. We had an issue with Sabatini's Italian, and the dining captain found us the next day in the main dining room because I was wearing the Ocean Medallion. He knew right where I was sitting, came straight over to us. We talked for 15 minutes. He fixed the whole situation. He invited us to come to the Crown Grill. Next night, we did. So I think Princess has some of the best service at sea. They have outstanding service throughout the ship. In terms of their food, I think they're one of the best at a main dining room. It's hard to make good food for 2,000, 3,000 people every single night at a main dining room. I think Princess does it exceptionally well. And I think their buffet is among the best in the business. Like the 3 best buffets that we have seen so far have been Princess, Holland America, and especially Celebrity. Celebrity has my fried toast in the morning. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That's my opinion of Princess. I think they're great. They have beautiful pools. Their cruise staff has gotten more, I don't want to say fun ship-like, but we really noticed it on Sky Princess, that it reminded me more of the Carnival Fun Squad. There was a lot more trivia going on, even well into the night. We had a lot of games going on, like up until about 10:30 at night in the Princess Live Theater.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on, and the cruise director staff was more loose and more fun. Like they've always been fun on Princess, but even more so. It was a little bit less structured and a little bit more, let's just say, improv going on, and it was really, really good. So, Jazzy, have we been on the MSC Seashore? Yes, we have. Last December, during some actually not so great weather, which was phenomenal. That ship rode beautifully. MSC knows how to build ships. Their ships are absolutely gorgeous. Deep pools, like 6-foot deep pools, absolutely amazing. Where MSC drops the ball is they have very hit or miss hotel service. Food and beverage and the service that you get on the ship.
Yeah, the kind of customer service.
The whole customer service thing. On some days and on some ships, you're going to have outstanding throughout. On other, you're just going to, especially some of the management just really does not do a great job when there are issues sometimes. And then the food is very up and down, very hit or miss. And I will say,
every cruise line will run out of some stuff towards the end of the cruise. That's inevitable. But
yeah,
it seemed like we were on a 7-day cruise. So about the middle point, they started running out of things in the buffet and just kept running out of things.
Like by literally the last day of the cruise, they literally had 1 salad dressing on the buffet. Like literally 1 salad dressing left. And like, okay, everybody starts to run out. So I know from our representative that they have hired a new person to revamp the whole hotel operation. When MSC gets their hotel operation consistent, Because look, every cruise line you can go on, the Sun Princess, have an amazing time, go on the Sky Princess, and it's okay. But it's generally, a pretty consistent service across the cruise line. With MSC, it is really up and down, ship to ship, and even day to day, sailing to sailing. You can get very different experiences. So I don't know what they need to do to get that more consistent. We do sell a lot of MSC because, hey, look, for the price, that's the thing. You can't complain about it because, well, I mean, you can, obviously, it's your money, but you also have to look at what did you pay. So on our very first cruise, we said, look, the overall cruise experience was about a 7, but the value was an 8.5. And, you got to look at what you're paying for. So the ship is gorgeous. I would encourage everybody to go on an MSC cruise. Just understand what you're getting into. And we always talk to our client about the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to MSC, so that before you get on, you have to set expectations. Doesn't matter which cruise line you're going on. You have to set expectations realistically to the cruise line you're going on. You always hear about, caviar taste with a beer budget, right? That kind of it. Some people go on, on Carnival, and they're expecting like the best of everything. And it's like, wait a minute, you're going on Carnival. This is a fun cruise line. You're going to get really good of some things. You're going to get not so good of other things. But this is Carnival. If you want the best of the best, well, then you go on to Regent Seven Seas and you get that white glove service the whole time where everything is the best of the best. Or you go on Explora, things like that. So, yeah. Hey, good morning, Celeste. How are you? So Celeste has been on 57 cruises so far. I love you, Celeste. That is awesome. And you only got norovirus once. That is great. Very lucky. Very, very awesome. And of course, like we were saying before, it's very rare. Happy Mother's Day. I hope everybody out there. John's asking, does Princess ship the medallions and accessories as soon as you complete the ocean-ready check-in process? That's a great question. So the ocean medallion is something that Princess uses. I don't understand why all of Carnival doesn't use it because it's a Carnival corporation. But instead of a cruise card, you get a medallion, which is essentially an air tag. Excuse me, it's the same size as the air tag. And this allows you to get on and off the ship, opens your door, and that's how you pay for things. They are shipped to you between 14 and 10 days before the cruise. So they wait until right up until the cruise, and then they ship it to you. Part of the reason is you still might cancel. And once we get into that window where we're getting like 2 weeks away from the cruise, you're probably not going to cancel. So in order to prevent them shipping things that you're not going to use, they wait until about 2 weeks before the cruise, and then they will come in. So,
and you do have to, there is a part of, once you complete the check-in, there is a place where you specifically order the medallions to be shipped to you.
Yeah, good point.
Doesn't just happen automatically. You have to do the ordering, but you cannot do that until you are completely checked in.
Yeah, and even if the medallions are free, you still have to order them. So thank you for that. Wendy, you booked the cruise, but you want to change your room. When's the best time? Now. I mean, you don't want to wait because everything is going to sell. Cruising is still white hot. So the moment that you know that you want to change, then you want to make that change.
And we're assuming that you're talking about changing within the exact same category, in which case there will be no additional cost. Now, if you want to move to a different category, you'll pay the current prevailing rate. So you have to look at what that rate is versus what you paid originally.
So Cat has a great question. Can you tell me how to find out about the theme nights of an upcoming cruise? So that's like a closely held secret by all cruise lines. What it is really is that the cruise director staff will set that. Usually like the hard schedule for that is going to be set like a couple of weeks before, because things can change, right? Itineraries can change. Weather could change things. Maybe now we're going to stay in this port a little bit longer, so we're not going to do that theme night. The best way, honestly, is to go on to cruisecritic.com. That is a website that we use often. Go to the cruise line that you are going on and just ask the people, hey, those of you who are sailing right now or who were just on the 7-night cruise, the 8-night cruise, the 10-night cruise, whatever it was, ask them, hey, what was the order of the theme night? Because it can change all the time. I can tell you right now, like I can tell you for the most part, when you're on a Virgin Voyages cruise out of Miami, Scarlet Night is going to be the night before you go to Bimini, because they figure everybody's going to be hungover, so they can crash at the beach in Bimini. For the most part, now that's not every single time, and that's only for the ones that go to Bimini, but for the most part, Scarlet Night is going to be that night right before Bimini. But seriously, if you go on the Cruise Critic, and you just simply go in there and say, who's on the Adventure of the Seas, or who was on the Adventure of the Seas and did the 7-night Eastern Caribbean? Can you tell me what the theme nights were? It's honestly the best way. Find out from the people who were on the ship. We don't get that information. We can't look it up anywhere because they can change it and they can drop theme nights at any time. Michelle, how are you? Thanks for joining. Princess of Royal Caribbean for a family of 3 with a young teenager. If that young teenager wants a lot of things to do on the ship, then it's Royal Caribbean all day long, because Royal Caribbean actually, depending on the ship you go on, you can have a flow rider, you can have an ice skating rink, you have the water slides, you have, the major teen club. Princess is an amazing cruise line, and they have an awesome kids program, and they may have a big arcade. But that's it. Outside of that kids program, the rest of the ship skews adult, except for the Sun Princess, which is sailing now, and the soon-to-be Star Princess. Well, they have the whole top deck roller glider Park 19 thing going on.
And their Alaska cruises tend to skew a little younger, because a lot of people will bring the whole family on Alaska, because Princess does do Alaska very well.
Yeah, and then the next question too is Princess good for kids? Princess is actually really good for kids. They have one of the best rated kids programs at sea, believe it or not. They have an excellent kids program. What they don't have is they don't have all the top decks. Fly skydiving. They want bumper cars. They want, big sports courts. They want all this other stuff to do besides just being in the kids club. Then you're going to need a different ship that has other things to do. Princess won't be the best. But now Royal Caribbean, keep in mind, all the ships are not the same. So you have over 27 ships. I think we have 7 classes of ships now. So if you're on the small ship, they have nothing at all. You want to be on a Voyager class up if you want to have all of the things in there. Michelle, if you'd like to reach out, again, I haven't talked about this in a while, but our services are 100% free. We are Where's Walter Travel. The other voice that you keep hearing is my wife off camera, and our services are 100% free. We book land trips, cruises, luxury, expedition, anything you guys want to do, right up even up through the private jet. The big thing that's actually been catching on of late is private car transfers. Our clients are really starting to like. We have a wonderful private car transfer company that will meet you. If you're going to Europe, they'll meet you right outside customs. If you're here in the US, they'll meet you at baggage claim. Our clients are really loving this service. But yeah, we can help you. Where's WalterTravel.com. On TikTok, you click the logo. Go to my profile. There's a link tree. Just click the link. It'll take you right to our contact. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, the YouTube, there's links in the description. On LinkedIn, you can just simply click my profile. And on Facebook, I know there's links in there as well. And of course, where's WalterTravel.com, and click contact us. So we just set up a call, and then we do some research and see what we can find for you guys. So Scony 4, your only cruise experience has been on Celebrity Apex. Oh, and beyond. Oh my goodness. Now you're scared to try another.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. So everything is different. Of course, if you want to try something else and you want to stay there, of course, you got the Ascent. You got the Excel, so same class of ship, right? And even the Edge, if you want to go back to the OG, the original, which is now sailing in Alaska. They're sending the Celebrity Edge up to Alaska. So, you are, so this is a perfect example of working with a travel advisor. So it's one of the things we do. We find out from you, what did you like about that Apex and beyond, and why do you not want to try another ship? Because you don't want to lose out on blah, 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 blah. And then we can present ships to you and say, you know what, if you really like these 2 ships, maybe like Virgin Voyages might be something you want to try. Oceania might be something you want to try. Viking might be something that you want to try. Just based on that, maybe even the Norwegian Haven might be something that you want to try. So working with a travel advisor, like I said, whether it's me or one of my many colleagues out there, that's one of the things that we help with. We learn a lot of these ships, even the ships that we haven't been on. So Celebrity's going to be Barbara. She's my connection over there at Celebrity. I can give Barbara a call. and talk about, hey, these are some of the things we liked. If I needed to, I could call Tamika over at Virgin Voyage and say, hey, this person really loves this about celebrity. So let's talk about what it's like. Of course, we're a top 100 sales agent for Virgin Voyages, so we know those ships backwards and forward. We know Princess backwards and forward. We know a lot of these cruise lines backwards and forward, even if we haven't actually been on their ship yet, because we've done so much training and research, and we have so many colleagues that we can talk to about. I was just talking to one of my colleagues this morning who hadn't booked an Alaska cruise on Princess yet. She's like, look, my clients really want to go to Princess on Alaska. So we worked for about a half an hour talking through things. And that's all of that knowledge sharing that we have access to, thanks to, KHM Travel Group that we work under, about 5,500 of us, somewhere plus or minus. And, when we don't know, we have direct knowledge that we can get from others who have been on the ship. Like I just talked about Mandy a little while ago. I mean, she's literally on the road, I'd say 40 weeks a year. She's amazing. I want to be her. I totally want to be her when I grow up. She's absolutely morning. Pretty TK, good morning. How are you? And Scony, if we can help you, just reach out. Just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com? We would love to help you. Let's find out what you love about celebrity, and then let's see. Maybe there's not a reason for you to go anywhere else just yet. Let's keep you going with celebrity for a bit, and then start sliding you into some other cruises.
Walter gets easily bored, so he needs to hop around.
I'm going to be very honest about that. So, if I did 3 celebrity cruises in a row, I would have to go on somebody else.
Even if they were all Edge class ships.
Yeah. Like they can be the 3 most amazing cruises, but I'm like, okay, I need something else. I don't want to come on and see the Cafe El Baccio again. I don't want to see the Edge. I don't want to see Eden again. I need something else. I need a break. And then we're going to come back to it. Because I'm impressed that some people can be like loyal to Royal. I've been on 120 Royal Caribbean cruises. And to me, it's like, that's a lot. And it's like the same thing over and over and over and over. Like I'm seeing the same thing. I love exploring ships. I love going on new ships and go, oh, this is different. There's so many cruise ships out there. So I'm all about cruising. I'm not loyal to any particular brand. And I used to hear me say, those of you who've been with me since the beginning know, I always said there was like one cruise line I'm not going to send you on. Well, now that's off the table, because now Margaritaville at Sea is a legit cruise line. They're fixing the problems. They were horrified by what happened, and they got rid of everybody, started over. So hats off to them. And this new Margaritaville Islander is going to be amazing. So, Val, how are you? Hey, from the UK. Hello. Oh man, I love that about social media, that we can actually talk in real time across the pond. So, hello across the pond. I am drinking tea, so I hope you appreciate that. I know that was stereotypical. I'm so sorry. 68 days till your Celebrity Apex cruise, but you're going on a land-based holiday to Lanzarote soon. I probably said that wrong. Have we ever wanted to visit the Canaries? There are very few places that I don't want to visit. So yes, the answer is yes. I absolutely do want to visit the Canaries.
I have a few places.
Yeah. There's definitely a few places that I don't want to go to, but for the most part, I just want to explore the world. So that sounds absolutely amazing. I have looked at some of those itineraries over there. That would be amazing. That is just stonking amazing. I would love to go. Yeah, I have wanted to visit the Canaries. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. We're coming up on Gary Bembridge, everybody at 12 noon, Gary Bembridge, 12 noon Eastern time. Gary Bembridge pops up on YouTube as well. So we always got to run over there. Gary, with the Northern Lights prominent the last couple of days, are there cruises that highlight that? Yes, actually, I think the cruise line that does it the absolute best would be Hurtigruten X, I think they're called now. They're not called Expedition. I think they're called Hurtigruten X.
I think it's like HX.
Yeah, HX. I think they're called HX now. And actually, it's not even them. It's the Hurtigruten Coastal. They do a 17-night follow the Northern Lights. Folks, this is amazing. You will go over to Norway, Iceland. You will spend, I think, 7 days on land. You're going to do the Igloo Hotel. You're going to do dog sledding. You're going to go to Santa's Village. And then after that, you're going to go onto one of their ships for either 7 or 10 days. But the whole thing is 17 nights. It's called Follow the Northern Lights. But Hurtigruten has a Northern Lights guarantee during certain times of the year, certain sailing. They guarantee that you will see the Northern Lights. If you don't, you get to come back on another cruise and try again. So they're the ones. If you absolutely want to see the Northern Lights, Hurtigruten Coastal, it's over there. In fact, Lynn from Hurtigruten is one of our favorite partner. She's coming on a Thursday night show soon. So yeah, if you want to see the Northern Lights, let's talk about Hurtigruten. Oh my God, I love that cruise line so much. Rick, budgeting purposes, would I recommend a smaller cabin on a premium line or a suite on a budget? Oh, geez,
That's a
I don't
tough
know.
one.
That's a really tough question because it depends on what you want. Because see, here's the thing. And when you say premium line, I start to think of Oceania. I start to think of Regent, Viking, Seabourn, Silversea, those guys. There's a lot that's included on those cruises, right? So there is a lot that's included in those cruises. So when you compare, say, the retreat class on Celebrity, right? That's a Celebrity Suites. You get the retreat. You get Wi-Fi and a drinks package. You get a restaurant, and you get a sun deck and a special area and a lounge maybe, right? You go the cheapest cabin on Oceania, you get all of your meals are included. Beer, wine, and champagne with lunch and dinner is included. Soft drinks are included. Specialty coffee is included. You get a shore excursion credit.
Wi-Fi.
I don't know. Yeah, Wi-Fi is included. So gratuities are not included. So right there, so the bottom level of Oceania has more than the retreat class in Celebrity. But Oceania may not be the cruise line you want to go on. So it all depends on where do you want to go and who's available and what's included. Now, for the most part, on a lot of the, say, premium cruise line, there's not as much included. Now, Princess probably includes the most. Princess and MSC Yacht Club probably include the most. But like if you do Princess Plus, Princess Premier, there's a lot included with that. But you know that's just one little example, and you can pay less to go on Oceania than you do to go into Celebrity Retreat class. You know, we've shown that to multiple clients, and they're like, "Whoa, I always thought Oceania was like this super expensive luxury brand." It's not. I mean, it is a luxury brand; it costs more. But you know, you get into your Azamara, your Oceania, your Viking, Silversea, Seabourn, all these guys. You're going to pay more, but what are you getting for that money? And then it's like, okay, what am I getting for the suite on the other line? You know, apples to apples, if they're both going on the same itinerary, which one do I want to go on more? So there's always trade-offs, right? There's always trade-offs because some of the things that you might like about the Celebrity Edge class is not available on Oceania, right? Because it's a little bit of a quieter ship kind of thing. So
much smaller.
Yeah, it's going to be much smaller. So you know, this is one of those discussions that we would have. So both answers are right. It's just which one is right for the exact vacation that you want to do. Feel free to reach out. We'd be more than happy to help you, Rick. That's a great question. You just have to weigh the plus and minuses of the two. And France, how are you? Have we been on MSC? You're going in September, but only been on Carnival. We have. We've been on the seaside and the seashore. It's a bit of a mixed bag. But we enjoyed both cruises. Like, look, we've yet to have a bad cruise. But the service and the food is kind of a mixed bag. The pizza's amazing. Pools are really deep and beautiful.
Well, at least on the seaside class.
Yeah. And they know how to make coffee. Oh my God, they know how to make coffee. And the chocolate bar made an amazing affogato on the seaside. Not quite as good on the seashore, but they're beautiful ship. You have to set expectations to go on MSC. That's what I will say. They're beautiful ships. You're going to have a lovely time if you set your expectations correctly.
But if you've only been on Carnival, I would say, I mean, definitely the cruise director staff on Carnival is heads above the MSC cruise
There's
director
nobody
staff.
like the Fun Squad, right? The Fun Squad is at the top.
But I would say the main dining rooms kind of compare, the buffets kind of compare.
Yeah, I'd say well, the pizza actually, but that's a toss-up between the pizza. Now, we've been on the Mardi Gras, so the pizza that they made in that Italian area was really, really good. The sauce is better on MSC. The sauce that they put on the pizza on MSC is better. But yeah, I think the main dining room experience, it would be comparable. The buffet experience would be somewhat comparable. The shows, I don't know which ships you've been on, what shows you've seen. You know, that's a toss-up. Entertainment is a toss-up.
But it's definitely, you know, for the price is worth giving a try. I mean, everybody has different opinions, and you don't know what your opinion is until you give it a try.
Until you go on it. Yeah. So David is asking the best port to sail Alaska based out of Texas. So there's really two. You got Vancouver and you got Seattle. Those are the main two. Now, Princess does a couple of sailings out of San Francisco, which is kind of cool. It's a 7-day cruise, but with like 4 sea days on either side of it. So it turned out being 11 days. But if you want to do a round trip, like a standard 7-nighter. You just I don't have time to be up there for 14 days and do the whole thing. Then the Seattle round trip is going to be your bread and butter. You can get, like we're doing a 12-nighter on the Oceana Riviera. It's like basically an all-inclusive cruise because of the extra benefits that we were able to bring in. And that's going to be 12 nights out of Seattle. So that's kind of nice. When you can do a longer cruise, we're hitting ports that other ships just don't, like Klawak. There's very few ships that go there. Plus, we're going to have 12 to 14-hour port stays. So we're going to have a long time. Even in Victoria, most sailings out of Seattle are only going to have like a 3-hour stop in Victoria. So you can't really get off ship. We're going to be in Victoria for 12 hours, which is going to be wonderful. But there is no best port. Generally, you're going to sail round trip from Seattle. You're going to sail either northbound from Vancouver to Alaska and then southbound from Alaska, which would be Anchorage, down to Vancouver. That's generally the 3 ports you're going to sail out of. But like I said, Princess does offer a couple sailings out of San Francisco, which is kind of cool.
In Seattle, a lot of them do out of Seattle.
Yeah, so the bulk are going to be Seattle, Vancouver, and Whittier, Alaska. So if you want to reach
either
out,
Whittier or Seward.
Yeah, so if you want to reach out,
cruise line.
We'd be more than happy. Janine, MSC Miravilla, any good? Mixed bag. I've heard really good, and I've heard, not so good. I've got a friend on the ship right now who had been unimpressed with it. He sailed quite a bit on multiple ships, but then I have clients and colleagues who have been like, wow, it was absolutely amazing. So that's the thing about MSC that's very inconsistent right now. They need to get that consistency down. I don't know if it's the training or what it is, but I'm very encouraged to hear that they've hired a new hotel executive to try to revamp that hotel program. When they get that hotel program to where they're consistent on all the ships, MSC is going to be a force. I mean, they're already going to be, I think they're going to be the largest cruise line in the world very, very shortly. They're about to have 27, 28 ships, something like that. They're building so many ships. But when they get that, hotel and food and beverage, like where it's very consistent across all the ship, MSC is going to be a force. They really are. Pretty TK, the final bill on other cruise line gives you anxiety. The number one reason why you choose Virgin Voyages for your first cruise. That's kind of funny.
We definitely can help you.
Yeah, we can totally help you because like you can prepay gratuities.
Yeah.
You can prepay Wi-Fi packages. You can prepay for a lot of things. So everything is prepaid up front. There's even dining packages. We bought dining packages in the past, like 2, 3, 4 dining packages. So like literally everything paid up front. And then when you go on the ship, it's sort of kind of an all-inclusive, but it takes a little more work with a lot of the cruise lines, right?
And that's where the guidance of somebody like Walter can come in handy because we can let you know, okay, this is something you have to pay for.
Yeah.
When you didn't on Virgin, this is another thing.
Exactly.
We can let you know.
And that's a big adjustment when you come off of Virgin Voyages. Now I'm going to try Celebrity. I'm going to try Princess. I'm going to try Carnival. I'm going to try somebody else. We need to prepare you. Okay, now you got to pay all of these things, but we can pay for a lot of them up front and get them, just get them out. Let's see. Judy Cover is Celebrity. Hello. Somebody just, hi, Nana. How are you? Good to see you. Happy Mother's Day again to everybody. Good to see everybody. Is Celebrity out of Fort Lauderdale? Absolutely. I think are they out of Miami yet?
Yeah, there's a few, not a lot.
Well, actually, as of this year, by the end of this year, we're going to have Port Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. They are bringing who's coming up here? Equinox? No.
Equinox this year.
Yeah, so we're going to have all 3 ports by the end of this year out of Florida.
The 3 big ones.
Going to be.
And they do Tampa as well.
Yeah. Ivory used to be loyal to Royal. Now you won't do anything but MSC over the last year. You did 3 cruises. You have 2 booked already. That's amazing.
And
that is awesome.
That's the thing is, a lot of people don't like MSC.
Yeah.
But the only way to know what your opinion is to try it.
Exactly. Like we've got somebody here who's saying that they don't like MSC. And we have heard that from a lot of people.
That is valid.
Very inconsistent.
That is valid for them. But
Exactly.
We went on MSC, and while it may not have been our favorite cruise ever in the world, we had a great time.
And I will say the cabins were spectacular. Both of the cabins were absolutely I was like, wow, these are really nice cabins. They were big.
Yeah.
They were bigger than I expected. They're bigger than we're used to on some of the other cruise lines. So that was really, really nice. It's just the service. The service is so inconsistent. Like even the room steward on our second cruise, we barely saw them, which was very unusual. Like I think it was the second or the third day before we finally met them.
And we're not vouching for MSC. We have all sorts of things that we're saying that you cannot expect the best in these certain categories on MSC. And
exactly.
We're aware of that.
I have no idea who you are because you're hiding behind anonymity, but you know, we vouch for all the cruise lines. I mean, all of the cruise lines are good. All of the cruise lines suck at certain things. I mean, that's the thing. You have to set your expectations. I have no idea what your expectations are, but we have clients who will never sail on MSC again, and then we have clients, that's it. We're sailing on MSC, or don't put us on any other cruise line. So just because you don't like it and you don't like the fact that I'm talking about MSC doesn't mean I lose credibility. I mean, come on, seriously? I'm a travel agent. I'm going to put you on the best experience for what you want to do. And I'll tell you what, we've had two times on MSC. Not our favorite cruises, but we had a great time on both of them. In fact, we've met really lovely people on both of them. So yeah, just because you don't like it and you don't like the fact that I'm talking about it, well, I mean, that's on you, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. But like Ivory, you used to be loyal to Royal. Now you love them. So that's just
and
how it
certainly
works.
the price cannot be beat.
Oh my God, you can't beat the price. Only Carnival comes close. Carnival comes the closest to them. Rick is saying that if he had to have a disappointment, it would be that the buffet lacked variety on the Celebrity Beyond. Yeah, I'll give it that, especially so breakfast and lunch is basically the same thing every day. At night, they tend to work in a few of the dishes that might be served downstairs in the main dining room, but during the day. But what I will say is every morning on the Celebrity Buffet, I can't ignore it. It is the fried toast. They're the only ones that have fried toast. I love that fried toast.
Well, the only ones we've been on.
Yes, I'll get the egg. I'll get a nice slice of rotisserie ham. I'll get it on the French, on that fried toast. Holy crap. But you know, pretty much every cruise buffet, especially for breakfast, you're going to see the same thing every day. For lunch, you're going to see about 80% of the same thing every day. It's dinner that they tend to change up about 40% of it. But that's the thing about the buffet. You know, people kind of, okay, I want to go get something comfortable. I'm used to getting the same thing all the time. So, but Casey, you like cruising the Carnival Elation out of Jacksonville. You set your expectations based on budget. And that's a great statement because the Elation, as you know, she is well loved by the people who love her. She is an older ship. She's a smaller ship. John, what's that famous Carnival ship designer? He designed, Joe Farkas, I think is his name, designed that ship. So she is well loved by people who love it. But you know, it would not be the first ship I would think of to send you on Carnival, but you set your expectations and you base your budget on that. So Ivory, you've done the seaside, seashore, and the seascape. So we've done the seaside and the seashore. Had lovely times. Av Geek, new viewer, where can you get the shirt? I love it. So you're watching on TikTok. There's actually a link. I sell it in my store. Where we're going, we don't need roads. I've got my favorite ship is the one we're on. So if you go to where'swaltertravel.com, there is a link to travel accessories, or you're watching on TikTok, click my logo, then go to my link tree. And then in there, you're going to find a link to the store where you can buy them. I've got shirts, I've got totes, I got glasses, got coffee. I still got to get a coffee mug. I got coffee mugs. I got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, if you're interested, I'd love to see people wearing this shirt. It's really a lot of fun. I was rather proud of this one. I wasn't even watching Back to the Future when I thought of it. I just kind of thought of it. Okay, folks, so we've been going for an hour and a half, more than an hour and a half. So we're going to have to kind of wrap this up because I have at least 3 meetings coming up. Actually, I got 4 meetings coming up. Thank you so much for the kind words. So everybody, I'm going to, actually, I didn't even talk about it. Thursday night. Did I even bring it in? There it is. Thursday night, this coming Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTube channel. We'll be on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Cindy is coming back from American Cruise Lines. We have American Cruise Line. We have a river cruise line here in the United States. They do the rivers of America, plus they do all the coastal all around. So if you want to learn about river cruising and coastal cruising here in the United States, this coming Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn is where we will be. We're not on TikTok for Thursday night, but you can find us over there. And if we can help you in any way, hey, folks, just reach out. Our services are 100% free. Did I do a YouTube show on railroad trips? Not yet, but I'm working on getting rail bookers to come on. So yeah, we're going to talk about railroads over there, but we did do adult trips just recently. So folks, wherever you are in this amazing world, especially you moms out there, I hope you guys have an amazing Mother's Day. And just remember, we are here every Sunday on TikTok and YouTube, and every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're on YouTube and now Facebook and LinkedIn, thanks to StreamYard. So thank you, Janine. Really appreciate it. And if we can help you guys out in any way, where's WalterTravel.com. YouTube is Where's Walter Travel. Same thing, at Where's Walter Travel. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. We'll see you Thursday night on YouTube.